welcome to the Senagoth Lounge. I'm your bartender, Luke. Our drink special tonight, well, you know we're a podcast, so the drink special is just white wine.
The usual.
We have our best customer here tonight. It's James. James, what can I get you?
Yeah, I'll take a KFC bucket sized glass of your whitest wine. Whinier the better.
Yeah.
And why are we feeling whiny, Luke?
Sens aren't in the playoffs anymore. I think that's what it boils down to. And haven't been for a minute if we're keeping it a full buck.
But luckily the off season is upon us. The Habs are vanquished, and I don't know what happened to the Leafs this year, but I'll have to look into that very strongly at some point. But maybe they're still in it, maybe they're not. I don't know.
Did you think it was more sad or embarrassing that a bunch of Habs fans truly thought that they were good and had a chance against Carolina?
Yeah, that was really funny. That sort of I did, because I'm only following until my enemies are disposed of. Yeah. And as Sens fans, we don't get the benefit of the media ever being on our side in any situation. But hey guys, look out. There's a new sheriff in town after game one where, I'll give them, they scored more goals against Carolina in that game than Ottawa did in their entire series. But I was like, yeah, guys, you might want to cool your heels a little bit and wake up to the fact that these guys haven't played in 2 fucking weeks for a reason. I don't think they forgot how to be one of the best defensively structured teams I've ever seen.
Well, they did for one game, and that's why the Habs scored 4 or 5 goals in game one. Let's just say it straight. The Habs also got swept. That was a sweep.
Yeah.
I know that technically it was a 5-game series, but I'm sorry, you lost 4 games in a row. That's a sweep. That's you won a single game on a technicality.
Yeah, exhibition games don't count in the playoffs.
No one watched that series and was like, oh, the Habs, the second best team in the Eastern Conference. No, everyone saw you get your shit absolutely ruined. Games going to overtime when they have 12 shots in the game total. Not a serious series.
Like I said in my previous playoff thoughts, I'm pro-life, and it brings me no joy to concede that Carolina is an excellent team, and the proof is in the pudding. 3 sweeps. With 1 exhibition game in the mix, a conditioning stint against the Montreal Canadiens. It's they did this with motherfucking Friedrich Anderson in net. Salute. It's not like they, they had Cam Ward, deciding to be the best goalie in the world, all of a sudden. They're doing this with an absolute waste man. Leafs runoff in net.
Yeah, hang on a sec. Rest in piss to the Habs.
Yeah, rest in piss. See you next year. I ain't never scared. You ain't never there. Let's move on. Let's do a recap of what's going on in the NHL right now. Playing
cares?
Shit. Poo versus shit in the Diarrhea Cup. Whatever. Who cares? Yeah. Carter Hart, go to jail. Fuck you. Die. Logan Stinkoven, please sign with the Sens. Trade for Logan Stinkoven. I haven't watched because I don't care, but I assume our little man is still doing his thing all over the place. I have nightmares about that guy. Yeah, I'm living in a nightmare. All right, I've had a lot of coffee this morning. Let's go.
I appreciate. Look, go Canes just for being the least evil option. If you win, that's cool. like I don't have to like I don't know any of your fans. I don't know where you live. I don't have to see you. I don't have to think about you. It's probably the least evil option in terms of someone to win the cup. If we got to give it to a team that's not the Senators, might as well give it to Carolina. So yeah, go Canes.
It's got, well, I'm not going to go that far, but like I won't say those words, but I do appreciate that if they win, it's going to have that hooray for the ice hockey team, the fifth most popular sport in the glorious city of Carolina. You know, like
yeah,
like it goes, like football, baseball, basketball, college football, college basketball, college volleyball, NASCAR, highlight, and then iced hockey. Like,
it's amazing to think that there's gonna be some UNC fan is gonna be like, winning the Stanley Cup is pretty tight. Like, now back to the tailgate.
I think speaking of tailgating, I think they used to make fun of this on Puck Daddy a lot, so this is well researched from 20 years ago. But I think they're infamously the Carolina City Hurricanes had their Stanley Cup parade in the arena parking lot, and like 500 people showed up or something.
That's so fucking cool. I love
Which
that
is like, honestly,
NHL.
if they're gonna win if a team's gonna win the Stanley Cup, I kind of want that energy.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, we can get into this later, but it's like, I think the most if you're not a true Norwegian black metal Canadian hockey fan, I'm going to offend some people with this, and I love that for me, is like, I just want a Canadian team to win. Like, what? Like, you should, if you really are loving hockey like that in Canada, is like, you hate the Canadian teams the most. Like,
this is actually my least favorite thing about interacting with like casual sports fans, is when especially Americans say like, oh, a Canadian team hasn't won the Stanley Cup since like 1993. It's always an American team that wins, as if that's some sort of own.
It
like,
is. Yeah. Oh, shit. No one's been owned this hard since the Grinch Who Stole Christmas.
If you love
song.
Canada so much, why don't any of your teams ever win? It's like, buddy, let me tell you this. I hate those teams more than like some politicians. Not all politicians, but like most of them.
While Nathan McKinnon raises the cup over his head while God Bless the USA plays in the background. Yeah, that's whack as hell. Okay. Luke, what brings us here today? Speaking of garbage takes.
So, I'm not sure if I've ever said this, but I'm gonna say it again just so it's on the record. I have never had an original idea in my life, especially when it comes to podcasts. And so we're gonna steal a segment or a bit or a idea from another podcast. It doesn't matter which one, but we're going to steal some other podcast bit and we're going to take it for ourselves. And the bit is this. James, are you familiar with The Purge?
Yeah, I did 2 tours.
So the Purge is a series of movies, the conceit of which is that for
movies,
some amount of time, I think the original was 12 hours. For 12 hours, all crime is legal. And that is and then the movies are about all the weird, fucked up shit that happens during those 12 hours, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a horror movie guy. But what we're going to do here today is we're going to do The Purge, but for takes. For 1 hour, or for one podcast episode, all takes are legal. You can express any take you want, and people aren't allowed to get mad at you. They're not you can't have professional or personal repercussions for the takes that you express during the take purge. And if you express a take during the take purge, it might not even be a take you even believe in necessarily. It just has to be It could just be an intrusive thought that you want to just get out into the world so you can stop having it. So that is going to be the conceit of today's episode. Is we're going to have the purge for takes.
So what you're saying is the opinions expressed in the following podcast are those of our participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Senagoth Lounge, Radio Free Sends LLC, Heartless Corporation, and no one can take away our JD Power and Associates trophies. No one.
If whatever we say during this episode, you can't get mad at us because it's the take purge. It's okay.
I think this is going to be kind of challenging for me because I've never had a bad opinion about anything. So this is
yeah,
like I might not
just
be
doing
able to,
this for me.
I might not be able to even do this. Everyone's going to hear my stupid garbage takes and be like, "These are sent straight from heaven."
I mean, we'll have the siren going off in the background here, I guess, to signify the start of the take purge. For 12 hours, all takes are illegal. There goes the siren. James, would you like to start us off with your first take that was previously too hot to handle, but you can finally express?
This is a feel good one. Not all my takes are going to be feel good. This one is actually kind of a nice one.
Okay.
I think that Ottawa Senators fans are the best and most loyal fans in Canada. And I'll tell you why. No other place could pull off this franchise, and it's not even fucking close. Let me explain. Okay, so Ottawa, heard of this place, the capital city of Canada, is located between Toronto, Ontario, the largest city in Canada, and Montreal, the scuzziest city in Canada. The horniest but sleaziest city in Canada, which is only 2 hours if you drive like a little old man, like Hans Moleman. The Montreal White Men's Athletic Association hockey squadron started in 1909, which is 83 years ago, and the Toronto St. Barnabas, like whatever the fuck they were when they first started, is 1917. The 1987 when the Kaiser took away the number 1 from dates. So if you kind of take the most recent team, these guys have a 75-year head start on Ottawa, establishing a fucking fan base. Ottawa, mind you, on the border of Quebec, so mostly an English-speaking city with tons of French people. To put that head start that they get into perspective, it's still 24 more years before the debut of Big Chungus. We are going way back in time, I would say that's probably the biggest event that happened around that time, 24 years after 1917. I can't think of anything else weird that was happening, mostly Big Chungus. Fast forward, so basically when you think about it, aside from everyone's dad that some kind of freak original 6 team like the Boston Bears or the Detroit Wheels, you basically have to turn against your own blood and friends to become a fan of your own fucking city's team, right? My personal situation is because I'm 57 years old, and my entire family lives in Montreal. A little peek behind the curtain for me. You think there's any other Ottawa Senators fans in my family? Actually, there is one part of my family who pretends they live in Toronto. They live in a place called Burlington, one of the worst places I've ever been to my life. And I've been to Gary, Indiana. But yeah, you basically have to start a holy war if you're over the age of like 30 something to cheer for your own fucking team. And how are you repaid for that? The fucking Montreal Canadas win the Stanley Cup in the first year that they exist. Like just to like if you're like born into the Habs dynasty back when you won a Stanley when they stockpiled Stanley Cups, where if the team with the least conscripts into the Great War or had like the most victims of rubella, had to forfeit their season, right away you're giving up like a Stanley Cup victory. And that's if you're a true Norwegian black metal, like from season one, Sens fan. It's just like a perfect welcome to the shit. You're in the shit now. Like year one, like hated rival that you might have turned away from wins the cup against Wade Grempsky.
Yeah, can you imagine being a Habs fan, then Ottawa gets a team, and you're like, I think now's the chance for me to get into the ground floor of a new franchise, and then as soon as you abandon ship, Habs gonna get another one.
I just want to see it. I love seeing a Canadian team win. All the guys who look like butted out cigarettes in my neighborhood are so happy. I love that for them. It's a perfect intro to like welcome to being an Ottawa Senators fan. Like you see these teams now with the salary cap and like perfectly good players being quote unquote dumped onto other teams. Like who did we give Vegas? Like Mark Mathot, like our first pairing defenseman, like where they had to wait 4 grueling years to win the Stanley Cup, where if you're a Sens fan, you recall that first season, they won 10 games in regulation. 10. And there were more games in the season back then. And talk about the quality of the players we had. One of the fucking players didn't wear a helmet. Like, oh, cool. You get Stanley Cup champion Marc-Andre Fleury in that. We had a 5-foot-tall Polish guy. How do you like that? But I just say this. What other city in Canada could do this? Like through the bankruptcies, through Melnick, through the just general bad vibes of like, people give Ottawa a hard time for not being the biggest city in the world. Well, the fan base is divided in 3 on top of that. Like we are fucking holding this thing up like Atlas. And, there's a sick part of me that thinks about like, like Quebec City, you want a team? Hamilton, you want a team? Like, turn in your fucking Habs and Leafs badge and gun, and you're never allowed to go back. Like, you have to now hate them. You have to hate them now. They're going to be your least favorite teams. Every time you turn on the TV, Hamilton, they ain't going to be talking about Hamilton. They're going to be talking about the Toronto Leafs, no matter how good or usually bad they are. But I don't think Quebec has the cholesterol for that. I don't think Hamilton has the cholesterol for that. The Maritimes, please. And the
Maritimes are sold to Boston.
Yeah, that's true. I see people's mouths turning into the shape of a W saying, what about Winnipeg? They're all alone out there. We are right in the shit. Like, Montreal is like barely 2 hours away from here. Like, we are like, that's like saying like, wow, would, the Saskatoon township support a team? Like, yeah, of course. Look at the fucking Saskatchewan Roughriders games. It looks like the damn Wisconsin Badgers. Like, it's all they got. Like, we got other stuff here. Like, anyway, not to go off on a shitty rant here, but that's a shitty rant for me. Think about this. The BC's third largest city gets a team. Welcome the Burnaby Blades. Like, come on, man. We're amazing.
This is why having specific broadcast areas and blackout areas is so important. Because if it wasn't for the fact that there's like the Ottawa Valley, there's this little piece of Eastern Ontario in which you can only watch Sens games when they're on television. You can't watch any other team. There's absolutely no chance any kid would choose the Ottawa Senators. But like that's why I'm a Sens fan. Is I was sitting at my father's knee outside of Perth, Ontario in like 1998 watching the good old hockey game, and guess what good old hockey game was on? It was the Sens. If all you get is the Sens on TV, that's the best way you can become a Sens fan, based on my personal experience.
Also, they were good, probably.
They were just about to make the playoffs for the first time.
Awesome. So that's like pretty getting in on the ground floor, man. And you had to watch the New Jersey Devils back then, which is like hell on earth. Breaking side Purge take that you just reminded me of saying good old hockey game. I'm gonna say it during the Take Purge. The hockey song sucks shit. Stompin' Tom Connors is the corniest bullshit. That is embarrassing. No wonder Americans make fun of us. Like that song is terrible. That song's fucking terrible. I hate it. I wish we could purge that song. like bumblebees. And it celebrates Bobby Orr, a player, from Parry Sound, Ontario, but plays for maybe the most American team. Talking about the Chicago Blackhawks for one season. But anyway, Stompin' Tom Connors sucks shit. That's corny. Moving on. Anyway, if you're in the Sentos family, fucking hold your head up. We're the best fans in Canada. No one else could do this shit. It's hard. It's thankless. I don't know if you noticed for the last, 20 or so years, the vibes have been a bit off. But like, no one else could pull this off. You think they could add a new team in the country of Alberta? No. And the Oilers and the Calgary Fires have only been in the league since the 70s. We're talking about teams that are like 100 fucking years old that we had to squeeze between.
And they smell like it.
Oh, yeah. And you can smell the piss all the way here when the wind is blowing right 5 hours away. I don't know. Sorry about that. I started off with a perfect take.
Well, I mean, as long as you're feeling purged.
You
definitely purged.
Can I share a related take on this topic?
That's why we're here, James.
No, this is going to surprise no one who listens to this show, by the way, or knows me in real life. Respect my privacy. I'm not happy to see any Ottawa Senators alumni win the Stanley Cup. On another team. I don't give a shit. Let me ask you this. What do I get out of this? Yeah. Like, what does this do for me? And people like to go straight. Like, one of the best examples is Mark Stone. I think that's exactly where everyone's mind goes immediately. Is like, well, but what about Mark Stone? Like, oh yeah, one of the shittiest trades in franchise history. Like, yeah, love to be reminded of that.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out for Mark Stone.
Yeah, and couldn't be playing for a team that I like and respect more than the Las Vegas Jousters or whatever. Like, fuck off. Like, congratulations. I hope you don't pay any taxes, and I hope there were tons of red baseball caps in the crowd when you hoisted the cup. I want to kill myself. Maybe bleep that out. But like, it's only like because Mark Stone's like such a good vibes player. Like, did you get any joy out of David Rundblad lifting the cup, or Peter Regan getting a ring with Chicago? No. The proper energy here is Erik Karlsson getting 100 plus points and you not caring because we have Jake Sanderson now and he wins the Norris Trophy and doesn't win the Stanley Cup. I'm sorry. I don't care about Erik Karlsson winning the Stanley Cup anywhere except Ottawa. He'll be our deadline acquisition at some point in the future, and that will be sick. But in the meantime, Erik Karlsson winning Stanley Cup equals Pittsburgh Penguins winning Stanley Cup. That is no bueno.
That
Fuck
is verboten. Yeah.
Yeah, we don't like that.
Yeah.
Another perfect taste. I have a scorcher.
I feel like I'm just gonna clear the lane. Like I feel like I'm in the middle of watching Will Chamberlain score 100 points right now. Like I'm just gonna get you the rock and stay out of the way.
If you have real-time data in your secret Austrian bunker 2 miles below, or sorry, you probably use kilometers in Austria. This one, you're going to see the listenership and subscriptions just drop off a fucking cliff. Here we go. It's the Take Purge, folks. I didn't really feel that bad for Alfie when he left town.
Oh!
This is the worst one that I have.
Oh, wow. There's no way you would say this if this wasn't Take Purge.
Look, what do you want?
God.
This is my first bad take. This is my first bad take I've ever had.
Oh, sorry. I just... Damn. Okay, sorry. I mean, what? Yeah, keep going. This is healthy. Healthy. This is good and healthy. Yeah.
It's not like I didn't agree with him. It's not that I didn't understand completely. Come on, I'm not an amateur. I've been doing this since the 1970s. Like, I can tell you the fucking roster of like the Elmira Jackals or whatever. Like, I'm plugged in. I understand why it all happened. I hate Ted Eugene Melnick as much as the next guy. But the sort of like, I found it kind of exhausting about like, should have paid him what they owed him. You know, there was a handshake agreement in place. It's like, this is a business, Hunty. Like, I don't know. Like, you still, like, in the words of Michael Tyson, like, sign the contract, big boy. Like, I don't know. And I also remember doing a mild calculation of Alfie's career earnings up to that point. And it was like, this is what we know about. Like, I don't know if he's like advertising gefilte fish and cranberry sauce back in Svierge and getting advertisement money from that. But I think his career earnings up to that point was something like $72 million. And I understand that in sports, like dollar amount rather, connotes respect more than actual like financial need or whatever. And Kel Supree's the least respectful man in the NHL. Eugene Melnick didn't pony up. But yeah, it was like, okay, so you have to, you didn't want to take a haircut for one season of your career. Like, I agree with it, but I was a bit like, Alfie is the 1%. Like, I'm kind of like, I don't know if I'm like, you're taking your kids out of school and like moving to a different country. It shows
out of spite.
It shows the vitriol, and I appreciate the hater energy and appreciate mine. That I was like, I'm broke. I don't care. Like, and I'm glad he didn't win the Stanley Cup with Detroit. I'm glad. I didn't want to see Alfie.
Lord.
I didn't want to see Alfie win the Stanley Cup with another team. I don't want to see it. I want to see him lifted over his head as assistant coach of your Ottawa Senators. And that's the bottom line. You knew I was a hater when you married me.
I think I've got one. I've got one that kind of ties into that.
No one wants to hear from me for the rest of the episode, I'm sure.
I think Sens fans, we need to get over some shit. I'm just gonna say it. God. Like we gotta like stop watching anything bad happen and being like, oh my god, this reminds me of 2006. Like, that was 20 years ago.
That was months ago.
Yeah, even Alfie was like 13 years ago. Like, we need to stop having a Melnick mindset in an Andlauer world.
100%. 100%. Stop bringing your good takes to the Take Purge.
No, you can't get mad at me. That's my only point. Like we gotta get over it. Like, okay, we lost to the Leafs a few times, like 20 fucking years ago. Like that's fine. Like the Leafs are nowhere now. We lost again. Whatever. Who would you rather be right now? Be honest. Like,
from the fan base that brought you bemoaning the loss of Jonathan Dahlin for like 2 years.
Like we may have the best fans who like have been holding this shit down extremely well in a way that no other city could. But at the same time, we have to like, we can't let the only part of our like shared fandom be some awful stuff that happened 20 years ago. Like it's time to move on a bit. And yeah, even I mean, even and especially the Alfie stuff now is like, you know, like
he's back.
Alfie's back. He's behind the bench, and you know, the other party in that dispute not around anymore.
Then just to tie things back, I was at his return game to Ottawa. I was at his retirement thing. I was at his number retire. Like, I have a fucking Alfie. I love Alfie, but like, it was like a knife right through my heart watching him like put up an assist against Ottawa. Like, my love for the Sens always eclipsed my disdain for Melnyk. Like, it's root for the home team. Like, I don't know, I can't do that. Like, I'm loving the vibe of like, wow, Alfie really got the power play going for our lads, didn't he? Like, hell yeah, this is right. This feels good. This is much better than like, he did the right thing leaving. Like, I hate that. Also, I have a bit of a related take. And it came up recently on another podcast. I don't know if you've heard these other Sens podcasts, one worse than the next, except for maybe Elite Sens Brain. Where on this other redacted podcast, they were saying, like, I don't understand why the vibes are so bad on the Sens sphere on X, the everything website, twitter.x. And it's like, because if you look at the, you know, season and how it went, it's like this. And, you know, examining the 3 rounds that Carolina has, you know, gone through to get to the final, the Sens probably put up the biggest fight against them. And if we just had some puck luck and blah, 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 why are the fans so upset? Why are they upset? Listen, here's my take. Fans don't matter. We don't matter. Stop paying attention to us. We're fucking idiots. I hate, like, Mark Mathot used to be so annoying on Redacted Show because he'd always be like talking about annoying people on Twitter. It's like, yeah, have you been on this website? I was on there at the time, the most annoying person who ever lived. Like, who cares? This is not interesting. It's like, we're always going to have terrible opinions. We're always like this. I'll put
which
it
is our right, by the way. Like,
it's our right. And listen, this is why the vibes are bad. We're in hell. We're in hell. Like, this shit sucks. We just watched our favorite team make a miraculous, like, turnaround to their season after historically bad goaltending and the goaltending situation we won't get into right now, and rumors and innuendo and blah, blah, blah. They make the damn playoffs, get fucking destroyed by one of the most uninteresting teams in NHL history. Like, I'm sorry. I'm going to be mad about that all summer. Fuck off. Don't pay attention to me.
Yeah, exactly.
The royal we.
Again.
We're upset. We're stupid. It's our job to be stupid. We don't matter. Don't listen to us.
Hey everybody, this is Verada. Sitting on my off-season yacht, looking at my helicopter, thinking about the Ottawa Senators. It's one of those yachts with a helicopter. I know we're doing a take purge on this episode, and I have 2 that I'm not sure the degree to which these will be really disagreed with, to be honest with you. I feel like even if you disagree with it on the surface, you know it's right deep down in your heart. The first take is that Pierre Dorion is an underappreciated general manager. And I'm not going to claim that the mistakes he made weren't mistakes. I'm not going to claim that the things he said that made him sound dopey and that embarrassed the team were actually fine. You know, we didn't get anything from Mark Stone, who's the captain of a Stanley Cup winning team now. We lost a first round pick after he fucked up the Dadonov trade. But there are two things that I think are way either underappreciated or overweighted in the assessment of Pierre Dorian's legacy. The first is that he drafted in the top 5 2 players with the 3rd and 5th pick that, if that draft were to happen today, would probably be 1st and 2nd. Tim Stützle and Jake Sanderson. And then he signed them to 8-year deals that were very team friendly. And that now, in 2026, we look at those deals. First of all, 8-year deals aren't even legal in the CBA anymore. And secondly, the cap is going up this year, and it's going to go up the year after that, and it's going to go up the year after that. That decision has literally given Ottawa a window of contention that is not 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. He's given Ottawa almost a decade-long window of contention. And he's saved the team millions and millions of dollars. Stützle and Sanderson, if they had been signed to 2 or 3 year bridge deals, would be re-signing this year for what? 10 million, 11 million, 12 million? He's saved the Ottawa Senators millions of dollars, which can go towards other players and help to turn them into a contender. If this team does not contend for a Stanley Cup in the next half a dozen years, that's not on Dorian, that's on Staios. And that move, the importance of drafting those 2 players and getting them on those deals, vastly outweighs any of the Mickey Mouse mistakes. Any of the, oh, I can't believe he gave up a 2nd round pick for that guy. Oh, I can't believe he traded Dylan DeMello for a 3rd round pick. Yeah, of course, that stuff sucks. I get it. I'm not defending the Mickey Mouse moves. I'm saying they just don't matter that much compared to what he did right. The second thing about Dorian is that the big swings that didn't work out, trading for Matt Duchene, trading for Alex DeBrincat, trading for Jacob Chychrun, nobody at the time thought those were bad moves. I'm a big believer in you assess a team by the assumptions they make on the front end of the deal, not whether the deal worked out. If you make reasonable assumptions using good data and it doesn't work out, then that's just the way it works. There's way too much that's outside of your control to discount somebody or write off their legacy because things didn't work out. Duchene didn't work out, DeBrincat didn't work out, and Chychrun didn't work out. But the assumptions about whether those players were good and whether Ottawa got value in what they gave up for those players were sound. Those were good assumptions. And everybody at the time felt that Dorian won those trades. After the DeBrincat trade, he reenacted the trade call so that they could put it on social media because it was such a win. Remember Hot Dorian Summer? I mean, he was so active. I remember tweeting at the time after they traded for DeBrincat that Ottawa got the best young player available and didn't give up any prospects and didn't give up any roster players. And my tweet was read on, I don't know, some Ottawa or some Toronto Maple Leafs video blog with like thousands of listeners, because that was the general feeling, that Dorian was like running the table. And like, why couldn't the Leafs have done this? Why couldn't anybody else have done it? You know you're winning a trade when people are saying, we could have beaten that offer. Are you kidding me? Yeah, it didn't work out. I think you can ask a lot more questions about why DeBrincat never played with Tim Stützle, for example. But that's a DJ Smith question, not a Dorian question. Chychrun, yeah, you can ask, why are you trading for a left shot defenseman when you already have Jake Sanderson and Thomas Chabot? Perfectly reasonable. Defensemen get hurt all the time, though. And of course, if Chychrun works out and he's amazing, you can always trade Shabbat, or you can trade, whoever to make room for Chychrun. Perfectly reasonable trade to make at the time. So it drives me crazy when I see people saying, well, clearly he shouldn't have done that DeBrincat trade, with the benefit of hindsight. It's absolutely insane. Everybody thought it was a huge win at the time. So that's my take number one. I'm assuming once these are purged, we'll never raise it again. So I'll try my best to not bring that up again. But Pierre Dorion, underappreciated general manager. I'm not saying he's a good general manager. I'm not saying he's a great general manager. I'm saying he's underappreciated. He's certainly not a bad general manager or the worst general manager. And of course, we haven't even mentioned the fact that he had Eugene Melnyk as his owner throughout, most of his tenure. So Dorion, if you're listening, I'm sure you are, you're still not that great, but you're better than people say. You are better than you say. And honestly, I hope he gets another crack at it. I hope he ends up being a general manager somewhere else, and we can see what he does with hopefully a more normal ownership group. The second take, I mean this from a place of love, and I aim it as much at myself 10, 15 years ago as I do at anyone else. But it's June. I'm looking at my phone. I'm looking at various Sens blogs and Instagram accounts and stuff and what people are saying. And this probably isn't even that hot a take, because I feel like you all kind of know it deep down in your heart. We really got to turn the energy down, because it's not a positive energy. We got to turn the energy down turn the volume down by 10%. I was looking at some brand new Sens blog that just launched, and they decided to introduce themselves to the world by relitigating how little Ottawa got for Stone. And it's like, dudes, we know, okay? We know. This is meant to be fun. It doesn't mean that you have to become a cheerleader for everything. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with everything the team has ever done. What I would really love to see, and I don't know how to do this with 77 Sens blogs, including our own, but what I'd really love to see is to stop relitigating the past. It's not fun. It's not healthy. You got to look forward. You got to take that energy and put it into speculative scenarios about what the Sens could do. Okay, nobody needs to know that the Stone trade didn't work out, because they know. You're not informing anybody about that. I did this when Welcome to Your Carlson years, I think we started it in the mid-aughts, and I was out there just like everyone else talking about how Sens are giving up second-round picks for stopgap measures, and we needed to do a proper rebuild, and we were hoping to sneak in, and anything can happen. So I take as much responsibility for this as anybody. But this constant relitigation of past mistakes, we don't even have the same owner anymore. We don't have the same owner anymore. We don't have the same GM anymore. Look forward. It's time for us to stop relitigating the past, because it's just toxic. It's absolutely toxic. So those are my two takes. Pierre Dorion was underappreciated, which I guess is me relitigating the past, but that's why this is a take purge. I'm going to purge it and then it's gone. I'm not going to say it again. And I think the Sensosphere is much, much too focused on the past and is much too negative as a result. Got to look forward, got to get excited. So anyways, I hope that's worthwhile. Go Sens, go.
What? Wait, what? What's this? A second customer? This doesn't usually happen. Good evening, stranger. You've joined us on a very auspicious night. It's actually the Take Purge tonight. Are you here to purge takes, and can I get you a drink?
Apparently, yeah.
I thought that terrible takes that you don't want to own are the domain of men, but please, we welcome your trailblazing to this affair.
Yeah, I'm a little nervous. In fact, I might even say that my first hot take is maybe it's a little bit misogynistic to ask a woman to drop controversial takes on a podcast, because I'm going to get in way more trouble than you guys will.
No, this is the take purge. All takes are illegal today. Have you not heard the news?
All right, all right. I'm a little reluctant to believe it, but I hope that if any of my haters are listening, they are aware of the exercise we're doing and they know that they can't hold me responsible for any of these.
Lady, this is the Senagoth Lounge. No one is listening.
Yeah. And we will form a protective circle around you of way worse opinions than you're probably going to drop. So this is a safe space. Yeah, no one can hold these against you. The opinions expressed here are going to disintegrate after listening.
Well, unless I end up being right about things, and I'm like vindicated later on, then I would say that's the one place where we're allowed to like, I don't know,
Yeah.
hold on to those takes, yeah. But
Perfect.
otherwise, yeah, they should disappear.
Yeah, this is like a signal chat or whatever
Mhm.
nightmarish people use to communicate with each other these days.
In that case, I invite you to purge a take.
Oh my God, you're putting me on the spot. So my first take. I'm gonna stick with like current Ottawa Senators,
Okay.
on topic for a Sens podcast. I'm not sure I fully believe this one, but I'm gonna say it anyways. I think that we have already seen peak Brady Tkachuk, and he has too many injuries, and he's gonna end up getting worse. And we're not gonna get like a version of Brady that is like close to what Matthew is right now.
Oof.
So we should trade him now.
Matthew, who just missed like an entire season due to injury, and I still agree with you, kind of.
And again, that's one where I'm like, if I end up being right, you can use this against me. But if I'm wrong, like, please don't. Yeah, it's a take purge.
Can we soar together like snowbirds, Beata? By the way, we're joined by Beata here from Elite Sens Brain, the only other good Sens podcast.
I'm so
Outside
honored.
of these two, each one worse than the next.
I also asked my co-host if she had any takes she wanted me to say on her behalf, and she's a coward. She didn't have any.
Unfortunately, all of her takes were perfect and do not qualify as terrible.
Yeah.
Or purge worthy, I should say. But yes, let's soar together like snowbirds. Beata is what my most cursed purge take of. I also have a Brady Tkachuk one, and it's number one. I know he put up numbers against the Leafs, but I have been waiting for a player like Brady Tkachuk during my entire true Norwegian black metal Sens fandom, as alluded to earlier in the episode. I've been waiting. This guy is like, imagine Mike Fisher didn't believe in God and was like more skilled. I've been kind of disappointed in him in the play. Like, I've been waiting and waiting for this guy, and for the specific purpose to play in the playoffs. Had to wait what felt like an eternity to get there. And I've been like a little nonplussed. I think the first time was due to injury. Hurrah. And I think that kind of speaks to your point. And the second time is like 0 points and shooting the puck directly into terrible goalie Frederik Andersen's chest protector over and over again. Like, yikes. This has not been going great so far.
100% agree.
I want to purge on top of this purge.
Yes.
Because I think I can tie this up with another purge-worthy take. This version of the Sens won't take the next step until everyone just finally admits that this is Tim Stutzle's team now.
Oh
yeah.
Fuego.
And I mean like Brady Tkachuk needs to admit it. Tim Stutzle needs to admit it. Like, when Tim Stutzle is off the screen, all the other players should be asking, where's Stutzle?
Listen, meet me up
Like-
in this tree and I'm going to tell you a secret. Stutzel or Jake Sanderson could take over the captaincy of this team seamlessly, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jake Sanderson's 11 years old, which is crazy. Let me do you what I also going to add yet another shitty thing onto this pile of shit. I think that Brady Kachuk is going to leave, and we need to maximize return for him. I do not trust his family and their weird make the NHL great again plans. Um, I hate Keith Kachuk. I don't like the vibe coming off of him at all. And we need.
Oh, you don't like his spam ass head?
Yeah, Big Walt is right. Anyway, and here's the worst part: we could probably get an amazing return for Brady Kachuk. Hopefully, if we play our cards right, and I think at least Steve Stoicism's at the helm and not a certain other person. But if Beata's take holds true and this is peak Brady Kachuk, I got bad news. He will win the Stanley Cup during his career with another team. It's just the Sens fan experience. Strap in. That's why I got into the game as a lad, to watch fucking Brady Kachuk, a player I've waited my whole life to cheer for, win the Stanley Cup with another team. Probably the goddamn Las Vegas Golden Knights.
Yeah, I would even say I'm not even convinced that Brady right now is desperate to leave. I think people who think that are like, it's a little premature, all this narrative about like Brady is desperate to leave. He's gonna request a trade or something. And even despite that, I think that now, or like maybe next off season, is the time to cut ties.
Yeah, that's fair. I think like another weird take coming in based off this is like, even during the shittiest times, the Sens actually did, like, considering every time there was like this player's not going to resign here, they actually got the job done more than people probably want to admit. Like, I didn't fight in the Bobby Ryan is going to resign Twitter wars. Like, I didn't see my buddies die face down in the mud to say like everyone left town during that period. Like, they actually kept a lot of players around. And I could see under much improved vibes of Michael and Lauer and, you know, et cetera, that it's completely possible that he'd stay. I don't know.
So the only thing about trading Brady Kachuk is that he does have a full no movement clause.
Awesome.
Which means that until Brady Kachuk agrees that he should be traded, there's really no point in even talking about it. Outside of the trade purge, of course.
Okay. So just writing down Brady Kachuk to Las Vegas Golden Knights. And fuck.
Actually, since we're approaching the topic, I just have one thing to say about a certain player on the Detroit Red Wings, and I will repeat this on my own podcast, but I'm saying it first here.
Oh, exclusive.
I have nothing against players like using their no move clauses or whatever. You know, you negotiated for that, it's in your contract, whatever, workers' rights. However, I do think that if you only want to go to cup contenders and teams in tax-free states or whatever, I think you are a massive loser, and I should be allowed to call you that.
Hell yeah. Go off, Queen. That's one of the most annoying things when a certain large lad who played on a defensive pairing with Erik Karlsson was in front of a microphone all the time.
Oh God.
The nonstop tax talk, like, oh yeah, Florida, the worst place in North America, is so awesome. The golf there is great. There's no tax, blah blah blah. It's like,
read a book.
Each year that the Sens don't win the Stanley Cup is 1 year closer to my death where they don't win. Like, don't you have that same sense of urgency, player who might only be in the league for like a handful of years? I want to play for a good team. It sucks so much that the tax-free teams are good now. It was way better when it was like Olli Jokinen is the best player on the Florida Panthers, and it's not even close. Like, yeah, go play in obscurity. Like, meanwhile, I will personally build a statue of you if you bring the Stanley Cup to my city. Like,
Again, losers.
Isn't one of Dylan Larkin's like requested teams also Minnesota though?
Well, yeah, but that's because he gets to play with his buddies on a team that can probably win the cup without him. Which, again, I also think that's loser behavior. If you're just like, yeah. I just want to play for a team that can get me a Stanley Cup without me trying.
I mean, I saw the trade list of like Vegas and Florida and like Minnesota, and immediately was like, one of those things is not like the other. He must really like Brock Faber.
Yeah, you do kind of have to hand it to like Sidney Crosby's like autistic excellence of just like, yeah, we're fucking doing it here. Like he's not going anywhere, that guy. Like his brain won't do that. It won't allow him. Like this still made the playoffs and he's 63 this year, I think. Like shout out to that like that's not loser behavior. I got God, do we kind of have to hand it to Sidney Crosby at this point? I don't know.
I know this is the take purge, but now you're really starting to push my patience.
Yeah.
Handing it to Sidney Crosby. You're lucky you're doing it today of all days.
A friend of mine who her name will be redacted from this podcast, we were watching something and we were watching something and in the most disappointed voice ever, she was like, God, is Sidney Crosby hot now? He was so sad to admit it. He's like, I think I kind of find him hot. Like, all right, we're turning off the TV. Like, this is we can't be messing in these circles. We can't get we got to remember that this guy is a Pittsburgh Penguins scum for life, but did not display the loser behavior that you are outlining, Beata. I'll give him that.
Well, yeah, because Americans are ruining this league and Canadians are better.
Yeah. Well, and Ovechkin, who's from Country Redacted, go to hell, also kind of like stuck with his draft team.
Mm-hmm. I hate that we have to hand it to players for doing that now. It used to be a given.
Yeah, we're handing it to them in the tiniest hands imaginable.
Well, one day they'll hand it to Brady Tkachuk for sticking with Ottawa and winning the cup with the team that drafted him. Mark my words.
Can I throw out a terrible one here?
Sure.
I don't care about the downtown arena anymore. I don't care.
Honestly, fair enough.
I'm broken.
Like, it's been too long.
Do you know how close I live to where it's going to be? Like, I am in walking distance to the proposed site. I'm gonna have my personal support worker wheeling me to the game at that point, and I hope I still have like my senses about me to know what's going on when I'm at the game by the time that arena is done. You see that train station they built in China in 3 years? Like we got work to do.
President Xi, my hockey team yearns for freedom.
Listen, I have an excellent relationship with President Xi, so I'll make a call.
Please invade Ottawa, Ontario specifically.
Yes.
I have one. This is probably my most cursed one.
Hell yeah.
So I wanna deliver it. I don't care at all that the Leafs won the first overall pick in the draft lottery.
Oh, I
Ooh.
need this.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
This is the
like
worst
the
one
Leafs
yet.
are over. The Leafs are over. Like they're dead. They have general manager Claude being marionated like a puppet. Like
I would say it's more Grok.
the Leafs are over. Like, what are they going to do? And they're going to win the first overall pick and draft a guy. They already did that, and they were terrible. They won like 2 playoff series in 10 years. There's like it's fine. We won. Ottawa. The Ottawa Senators have won the rivalry. The Leafs are over.
Speaking of,
I don't care what.
Speaking
happens
of
to them
2
now.
times in 10 years, they won that first overall pick fair and square. It's called luck. Look it up. Ask the Arizona Coyotes about the draft lottery.
You know, I hope you're right.
Didn't we go over this? I don't know if this was just in the group chat, but like it's a fait accompli that they're gonna rebuild again. It's like you actually kind of pulled the rebuild off, and that's hard. Like, look how many times it took the Oilers to do it, and they got Conrad McDavis and Leon Draisaitl. Like, think about the bodies in the wake, like to get there, and they still didn't get it done. Like, pressing the reset button, I think, is like cool with your Grok like rebuild simulator that turns into disgusting images that I won't get into. But you're talk about a lottery. It's like you are really like putting everything on red, like to start over again. Like Auston Taylor Matthews, like guy had like a 70 goal season, didn't he? Like, I don't know if that's going to happen again with whatever this guy that they're going to get. Like, it's a huge gamble to just blow it up. They're terrible, but like they missed the playoffs fucking once and they're going to press reset on it. Like, okay.
While we're shit talking our rivals, I'm gonna say something even more controversial.
Let's go.
The Habs are not good, and I think this year's run is as far as this core is ever gonna take them.
Amazing.
So, sorry, you know we're trying to go for bad takes, right?
What if next year, I think next season they introduce the overtime, 3-on-3 overtime, so we're in trouble because they're really good at that. So once they add that to the playoffs, we're doomed.
Well, I'm not gonna lock this in yet, but I do think there's a decent chance they miss the playoffs next year.
Oh,
1,000,000,000%. I completely agree. I know you're very plugged into the Habs verse,
Unfortunately.
mostly due to geography. Did you find it more funny or sad that they earnestly thought they were good and had a chance against Carolina?
I think it was honestly just more frustrating because I was constantly surrounded by Habs fans who kept telling me the team was good, and I was like, excuse me, if you look at the expected goals, the Sens were actually way better even though they got swept, which made me look like a giant loser.
yeah.
But Montreal also got swept. If you lose 4 games in a row in the playoffs, that's getting swept.
Yeah. One exhibition game and then 4 actual games against Carolina.
Actually, I have a good take that I fully stand by, but I think people might be mad at me for it.
I mean,
I recognize
it's disrespectful that you've brought nothing but good takes so far, but go ahead.
So I understand why a lot of Sens fans hate the Leafs more than they hate the Habs, but I think Habs fans are so much more annoying, so much worse to deal with than Leafs fans.
And they're
Because
dumber.
in my experience, they just fundamentally do not understand sports rivalries. Like, they genuinely think that they cheer for the morally correct team, and that anyone who doesn't cheer for this team is just a bad person, and they, like, don't understand that sometimes you're just kind of having fun hating a team.
You missed earlier in the pod before you blessed the mic with us, but we were talking, I brought to the table that I just want a Canadian team to win is one of the stupidest takes a Canadian hockey fan can have.
Yeah.
Real true Norwegian black metal hockey fans in Canada hate the Canadian teams the most and wish they drown in their own blood in the playoffs. But I do know a few people. It is a popular opinion in Canada. Like, oh, I just want to see the Canadian team win. And when the last standing Canadian team was the Montreal Canadiens, to any Sens fan that has this awful take, I say this. Here's what I would like you to do. During the regular season next year, when your Ott Centos are playing the Montreal Canadiens, I want you to go to a resto bar of your choosing that has a shuttle bus to the game, and I want you to put on your $300 long sleeve polyester Ottawa Senators shirt and ride the bus to the game with the Habs fans that are going and tell me that you wish anything good for these motherfuckers by the end of the bus ride. It is awful. It stinks on that bus, and start handing out free deodorant to Habs fans at Ottawa Senators home games, please.
I agree with you, but I will add, I do think that the Canada's team people are necessary to the ecosystem of Canadian hockey and the rivalry between teams, because I would say that the amount of people who rally behind every Canadian team is what makes me really, really want my Canadian team to be the first one to win the cup.
I'm going to push you on this one. Do you feel like anyone in Canada roots for the Sens when we're the only Canadian team left in the... That's happened a number of times, and I never felt any, like, backup from an outside fan base at all. In fact,
I think there was, in a very, like, condescending way of, like, oh, the Sens are so irrelevant, we'll cheer for them, like, I have no bad blood, I have no, like, ill will toward them, it's fine. But I also meant the media kind of, like, pushing that narrative. So what I mean more is, like, I like that the media narrative exists, even though I don't personally buy into it, because occasionally it does benefit my team.
What about this? Speaking of like tinkering with the team, here's one. No big moves. I don't think that Steos should do any big moves. I think that the like David Perron out, Fogel in moves are the way to go from here on out. I don't really think they have the toys to offer another team for something awesome. I actually think the team is good and deep, with the exception of like Nick Jensen being an important part of the team up till now. Like, but I think that Jordan Spence could probably pull that off, like be comparable to Nick Jensen at the very least. But I think it's more a matter of like bolstering, like get a good non-bigoted backup goalie. You know, probably here's a added in bonus take. I think the wheels are going to fall off Claude Giroux soon, and we need to start thinking about that. I think Claude Giroux's been like too important, and we need to start thinking about that more. But I think the things like getting Lars Eller or whatever, we got to Carolina Hurricanes our way to success, not New York Rangers. Like, who's the sexiest, like Alex DeBortcat we can trade everything we have for? I don't know. That's not the move for me. I think we need to like know that we have a good team right now and sort of build on that.
I almost agree, except I think, as you said, the wheels are going to fall off Claude Giroux, and also I'm not super confident in Brady Tkachuk going forward. Also, I don't think Drake Batherson is that good, so I do think that we need an upgrade at forward. However, you mentioned Jordan Spence. I think he is the top 4 defenseman that we've been looking for, and it's really stupid that the Sens are looking to improve on him.
There's a bit of a what more must he do after last season? Like they had him like playing on the first pair.
He was their number D for a few games, and he crushed that.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think that if we are going to make an upgrade, then the guy who's got to go while he still can is...
Here it comes.
Ridley Gregg.
Ooh, I thought you were going to say Thomas Chabot.
Well, I'm not that much of a psycho. Jesus Christ. No, Ridley Gregg, if you look, I mean, I don't know how much he's been getting better from year to year. Like, he's 23 now, but, like, still seems like the same guy he was as a rookie.
We should take him behind the barn and shoot him.
No, I think, but, like, he's came into the league as a 20-year-old, and we were like, oh, Ridley Gregg, imagine how good he'll be when he develops. And I don't know, still kind of the same guy. I think if we have to trade a young player to get a better asset back, like Ridley Gregg's on my list.
I'm gonna go even more controversial than that.
Oof.
I think, and I need to preface this with, this is only if there is like a perfect trade, somebody that fits like, you know, a great forward that is exactly what they need, that has finishing talent, that wants to stick around. If they need to make a good trade and they're like looking for prospects, picks, players that they can throw in, the one prospect that I think we can spare, not that I want him traded, but it's Carter Yakimchuk.
Oh, you mean our only prospect?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, I like him. I'd like to hold on to him. But I think that the Sens have such a good defense core right now that they could potentially spare him if there was an opportunity to make the team a lot better.
This is in line with what I'm saying, is like, we need to acknowledge that this is the deepest Sens team we've had since like the early 2000s. Like the amount of defense injuries that we had in the playoffs, and still like kind of were like in the past it'd be like, oh, Erik Karlsson is injured, we should all just like get a giant bus and we'll all get on and drive it off a bridge together, Thelma and Louise style. Like we're doomed. Where it's like, man, I would have thought like the team couldn't go on without like Zub or Chabot in the past, and like they were able to do that. It was hilarious. I'm nervous about Carter Yakimchuk. He's 8 years old, but it was hilarious to see him do that twixt the legs Harlem Globetrotters pass in the game against Detroit, which led to a goal, and then he did like the old shimmy and shake for his own goal in that same game. But they brought him back for the playoffs, and he did the identical between the legs pass against the Hurricanes and got absolutely fucking owned. Where I was like, I think like the quality of opponent is drastically higher between Detroit. You can do that shit against Detroit, but you can't do it against like an actual good team like Carolina.
You're in the NHL now, buddy. Like, bring that shit back to the AHL.
Yeah, the Adirondack Wings versus the now in the finals leading Carolina Hurricanes. So you'd move Yakimchuk for like when this is in line with our fellow host in voicemail form, Verada, is that we should do absolutely everything possible to win now with this lineup. Is that your feelings, Beata?
Yeah, pretty much. And again, I love Carter Yakimchuk. I'd love for him to stick around. I can see a future where the Sens keep him and are really good and he's amazing. I just think they need more shooting talent at forward. And if Carter Yakimchuk is what it takes to get that like last piece that they need, then I would do it.
It does seem like the Sens are at long last deep in at defense. So I think there's a good there's a good argument for what you're saying.
It is crazy though, like defenders get hurt so much that we've already had to call up Carter Yakimchuk in the playoffs. Like that's nuts. Like the idea of not having him anymore is kind of wild.
Yeah, and like, you know, if they get a few injuries on defense, things start to look pretty bad. Like, I don't know. They do need like defense prospects and they need like decent third pairing defensemen and everything. Again, I'm not saying that like we gotta get rid of this guy. I'm just saying like defense is a strength right now for the Sens.
You'd be willing to do.
And shooting talent at forward is a weakness.
Yeah. Okay.
Not every hockey team is lucky enough to have 35-year-old Ben Sherratt on the roster for almost $4 million a year until 2029.
Oh yeah, I know.
As long as we're talking about win now trades, I have a take I want to purge now.
Purge it.
The Duchesne trade was good, actually. That trade was Shane Bowers, Andrew Hammond, a third-round pick in 2019, and a first-round pick that ended up being Bowen Byram, and then Kyle Turris to Nashville for Matt Duchesne. That's like actually the sort of like spicy thing that we should do again, I think. Like if you look at how Matt Duchesne did in Ottawa, like he held up his end of the bargain. Like that was
for sure.
That was a fine trade at the time, considering that Ottawa had just made the playoffs, and it did seem like it was going to be the exact sort of upgrade the Sens needed. The main problem was just that Ottawa's main defensemen after Erik Karlsson were Cody Ceci, Dion Phaneuf, Johnny Oduya, Freddie Claesson, and Ben Harper. And also, I think, like a rookie Thomas Chabot. Turns out the wheels fell off those guys after the long playoff run. But, like, conceptually, the Duchesne trade was good. That's I'm purging that take.
I will go one further with a similar take purge. The trade for Alex DeBrincat was the right move at the time. Woo! Dorian's only mistake was not checking to see if the guy has any interest whatsoever in playing in Ottawa.
Yeah. He left
like, imagine this team right now with Alex DeBrincat. It would be so much better.
I can't even tell if you're doing a bit right now.
No, I am 100% serious. I don't like the guy. I wish him all the worst.
So far, so good, actually.
At the time. that was the right move for Dorian to make because the Sens had tons of defense prospects. They didn't know how those defense prospects were going to pan out. Plenty of them panned out. So, like, clearly it was the right move to say, hey, we don't have any forward prospects in the system. There's one available right now. Let's just make this move right now.
And it was another Magic Beans situation in exchange, was it not?
Mhm.
Like, I don't remember the big piece that went the other
It
way.
was just a bunch of picks. I don't think they've really panned out. So.
Yeah.
Pierre Dorian hated picks. Hated them. Get these out of here. I have a quick Dorian redemption song. It's a bit of a defense of the boy PD, our manic pixie nightmare GM that we had for a while. You can't discount Pierre Dorian's regime's drafting and taking Stutzel and Sanderson off of luck. Everybody is lucky in the NHL. Every GM gets luck. Every GM has bad luck usually. Like he did the damn thing. You got to take your fedora off to it. Like, I'm sorry. Yes, if he got the number 1 pick, he would have taken Alexis Lafreniere. So would have everyone else. So did the Nye Rangers. Like, he got 3rd. If he got 2nd, he probably would have taken Quentin Byfield. The LA did that too. That's not bad luck or good luck. Like, it's just what happened, and he crushed that thing. There was lots of pressure to take Jamie Drysdale or whatever instead, like, over Jake Sanderson. He did not do that. Like, that was an excellent draft, and these are the facts of the case, and they are undisputed. Who cares? Like, yes, the San Jose Sharks pick was extremely fortuitous. No one could have predicted that they would have fallen that far in the standings. And that's why everyone is no fun, and lottery protects their number 1 picks now. And luckily, that didn't happen this time because it was so inconceivable. But like, I think it's unfair to take the accomplishment of drafting not 1 but 2 players that could have easily gone number 1 in that draft in retrospect at 3 and 5. It brings me no joy to defend Pierre Aloysius Dorian like this on air, but it's the take Purge.
I feel I have no problem giving it up to Pierre Dorian for the 2020 draft. And even the 2019 draft to some extent, because, you know, Shane Pinto's looking good there as a second round pick. Also, he's playing well.
Yeah. Ridley Gorg also in that draft, was he not?
That was 2020. Because they had 3 first-round picks, and they were Stützle, Sanderson, and then late in the first round, it was Greg.
Yeah. Great draft.
Even 2018, when Ottawa took Brady Tkachuk at 4, like, there was a lot of discussion about, like, oh, is Sedina the guy? Should they take someone else?
Yes.
Like, that wasn't a slam dunk pick at the time. What I will dock Dorian for, though, is every subsequent draft since 2020.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like...
I guess I've heard over the years a lot of, like, actually he just lucked out, like, blah, blah. I'm like, so the fuck what? Like, sometimes you
Someone's
get
luck. Yeah.
sometimes you get Sidney Crosby, and sometimes you get Nail Yakupov. Like, that's luck also, you know. Sometimes you only draft in the lottery 2 times in recent memory, and you get the number 1 pick mysteriously each time. No names, all names redacted, but luck is just part of it, you know? Like, luck is part of Kyle Turris being a extremely serviceable second line center, and David Rundblad being a real estate agent in Malmo, Sweden now, probably, you know? Like, he could have been the next Erik Karlsson. I don't know. It was good luck this time. It was bad luck that real estate agent Eric Brandstrom wasn't the next Erik Karlsson, but at the time he was one of the most heralded prospects in the entire league. Like, that's why that trade was 1-for-1 partly.
Related to that, I think people need to stop acting like the Red Wings were super unlucky with their lottery luck for the entire rebuild, because in at least 2019 and 2020, they got top three picks. They're like top three players in both of those drafts, even if they were drafting lower. So, like, either they're lucky to get those players or they were unlucky to not draft Alexis Lafrenière first overall. Like,
When you say people, though, do you mean Red Wings fans?
Red Wings fans and the media.
Oh, okay, good.
Because I see a lot of hockey writers saying like, "Oh, the Red Wings were kind of screwed by terrible draft lottery luck," and it's like, okay, so they don't want Moritz Seider then? They don't want Lucas Raymond? They could have Jake Sanderson instead of Lucas Raymond if they wanted. They just weren't smart enough to draft him. So
yeah, and as a former Nepean Raider, it brings me no joy to say that my brother-in-arms Steven Yzerman is a waste man as a GM.
He sucks. That's not a controversial take, though. I will gladly say that at any point, anywhere.
Still an absolute snack, though.
Sure. But he's a terrible GM.
Drop the skincare routine and, retire. Also.
Steve Yzerman, I am your lawyer, and I'm advising you to keep doing this terrible GMing. Keep doing that shit.
Steve Yzerman, 1,000 years Yzerman Reich.
Everyone, we need to hype up Steve Yzerman. We should stop stop this like, oh, maybe he's actually a bad GM. Like, no. It was actually a fantastic decision to sign Dylan Larkin to an 8-year contract and give him a full no movement clause, knowing that he has doubts about the direction of the team. Excellent choice.
Tianto leaves, keep consulting Epic, Bacon, Grok for all of your player personnel decisions. This is going great.
Beata, this needs to be your new bit.
We all need to collectively start. Yeah.
You need to start being like, oh, these are
now.
genius moves by Steve Yzerman. I actually love Justin. I love the Justin Falk trade.
For years, I'm being the one person saying Steve Yzerman is bad, actually. Now that people are waking up to it, I have to turn around and be like, no, Red Wings fans are right. This guy's a genius.
Yeah. Oh my god, they have JT Compher for 2 years after this? Yzerman masterclass.
When I post Ben Sherratt cap friendly, I'm inviting to look at how good his contract is and what a steal it is for Detroit.
Ben Sherratt cap friendly brackets complimentary.
David Perron, he could still surprise you. Still got some gas in the tank. We hated giving him up for fast skater Warren Fogle.
Is it time to go in on our fellow Sens fans now?
Oh, absolutely.
Fine with me.
How about this? Real Sens fans sit in the 300s. Fuck the 100s. Fuck the season ticket holders. I don't give a fuck about you. I don't care how much a beer costs. Why are you trying to get drunk at a hockey game? I
had my reasons.
I would rather sit in the 300s than the 100s. Those are my people. If you're in the 100s, I don't know you.
Also, the 200 section is the best place to view the game physically, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's my favorite.
But the book is out. It's like the price is basically the same as the 100 section. Like, it sucks. Like, it's way too expensive.
And each section only has like 6 seats in it as well.
But yeah, every time I've sat in the 200s, like, this is living, baby.
Yeah, I agree. 200s are best, but I always sit in the 300s because it's cheaper. So.
And that's where the real fans are.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, when I was a student, paying $50 for a Sens ticket that could have gone to my rent. I was living high on the hog in the 300s, baby. Like, I'm a bigger Sens fan than most people in the 100s because I was spending 100%, actually more than 100% of my disposable income at the time to go watch the Sens.
Same.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I've never seen someone showing their cell phone to another adult man saying, "Isn't my daughter quite the looker?" Like, in the 300 section or in any other section of anything in my entire life.
We need to shut down the 100s until we can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, I agree. And also, what's up with that concession stand service to your seat? That's weird. I don't like that. You get up and you get your own damn chicken tendies. Save that for Club Bell.
I don't know if I believe this one, but I feel like I want to get some extra spicy takes up in it.
Okay.
Okay.
Linden Slewage, washed?
Whew.
Oh, no, I disagree.
Is Lyndon Slewage ACAB?
Well, not anymore, because he's retired.
ACAB includes Lyndon Slewage.
Okay, that might be it. Yeah. ACAB includes Linden Slewage.
So he's retired. So now he's hired as a consultant to show people how to get out of their DUIs. Like, I don't know. Allegedly, I don't know what he's up to. He hasn't been doing the anthem for a really long time.
That's the first one I've said where I'm like, oh, I don't know if I can get that one in. The blowback could be too hard. It's a take purge, people.
You can't get mad at us for this.
Yeah.
The real Sens anthem singer is Alanis Aloysius Morissette, the Queen of Ottawa, and I won't be listening to any new suggestions. Thank you.
I liked it when they had the Mullet Man sing the anthem. I don't know if that guy is a good person or anything. I don't know anything about him, but I liked they had a local Franco-Ontarian talent who just like got famous from being in the stands and cheering for the team.
Hair.
And had him sing the anthem. That's cool.
I mean,
Singer and hair haver mullet man.
If the Maple Leafs can give fucking Dart Guy a radio show, like
What?
we should be.
That's so funny.
We should be able to at least have Mullet Man like perform a couple musical numbers at the CTC.
And he has. He's been the entertainment, like the intermission entertainment a few times.
Perfect. I love that for him and also us.
Yeah, and he was on La Brigade once and seemed cool, so I feel like he's one of ours.
Shout out. Until further notice, we bang with mullet guy.
Mullet Man.
Excuse me. Mullet person.
Does anyone have any takes left to purge?
I know on this podcast we stick with Ottawa Senators and not necessarily Ottawa Charge, but Emily Clark was not good in Ottawa, and it's fine that she's leaving.
My mighty heart is broken.
I love her as a person. Would have loved to see her figure it out here, but she did not play well. And I think that it is far more feminist to criticize women's hockey players for being kind of bad than to pretend that they were good just because we like them as people. Because we need to take the PWHL seriously as a league. I like being called in this respect. I will say that she will remain the mic'd up goat. So like nothing wrong with having an emotional support player that's kind of bad. I'm just saying, from a hockey perspective, she wasn't giving us much.
maybe the mic'd up torch will be passed to its obvious heiress apparent. Talking about Gwen Phillips, obviously.
Oh, of course.
If gorging with Gwen is any indication of her lovableness and PR skills, it's that.
See, that's a player who I love and who is really good, which is perfect.
I will agree there. Also, shout out to Fanuza being protected. The Charge have been getting my letters and emails about that. Took a little long for them to get there with it, but we welcome you back next year, Queen Fanuza. Speaking of hair havers, I have a quick one. I realized I had one left. Josh Norris could straight up outperform Dylan Cousins at some point, and I will still think that was a great and brilliant move to trade him for Dylan Cousins. Dylan has already played twice as many games for your Ottawa Senators than Josh Norris has for the Buffalo Sabres.
Because that's the thing. I miss healthy Josh Norris. I long for the player that healthy Josh Norris could have turned into. Unfortunately, healthy Josh Norris does not exist anymore.
Yeah, who is she? Like, I don't remember her at all. I remember anxiety Josh Norris, where if, like, pulling off the healthy Josh Norris mask and it's just anxiety Josh Norris under there, like, oh, good, he's taking another face off. That's a thing that centers will regularly have to do for their career, isn't it? Like, even if Josh is a better player technically than Dylon, I don't care. And also, 28 goals this season. That was great. I also kind of think that Josh Norris, like, what was it, 35 goals that he had one season? I think it's a bit of an anomaly.
I mean, it certainly looks anomalous if you look at his year-by-year stats. It looks like the very definition of an anomaly.
I think if he had stayed healthy, he would have been able to keep that up.
Again, though. Like,
see, that's the thing. Yeah, he wasn't going to stay healthy, so
I think it's like a Joshua Norris, thank you for your service of scoring 35 goals one time. So that was like the biggest asset going into the trade market. It's like, this guy has the capacity to score 35 goals. It's healthy. Josh Norris, get well soon. We want you to get well. We wish you a merry, healthy body. But I don't know if that's going to happen. I'd rather the, white horse from work guy who actually played an entire season, 82 games. Congratulations. I think that's actually kind of rare air. I'm going to do a quick number crunch here. Only 3 players played an 82 game season. Old man Giroux, human being Fabian Zetterlund, and Dylan Cousins.
Oh, I thought Zub got 82.
a lot of players sat out the last 2 games of the season because they had already clinched.
I just remember
So
Zub.
I actually don't know why those other players didn't sit out those games, but whatever.
Oh my god, I have a good one I just thought of just now. Oh, and by good one, I mean bad one that no one's gonna like.
Okay.
Can we shut the fuck up about Fabian Zetterlund's contract being bad? It's not that much. Like, it's like, is it more than he's like? They talk about it like it's like an 8x8 no move clause contract. Like, guy makes like $4 million or something. Like, who cares?
Yeah, the cap's going up. It's fine.
He also can kind of play up and down the lineup. He's sort of like a poor man's Ridley Gord.
I still think he could become good one day. I have hope.
Yeah, I think I'm kind of with you in the, like, if he got, for God forbid, like, a extended look in the top 6, like, he wouldn't die up there. Like, it's fine. I just found that stink really hung around. It's like, what did we trade for him? Like, Zach Ostapchuk? Like, okay. You know, like, we got one with an untwistable stomach now in, what is that guy's name? Big Red. Like, that's an extremely, like, Zach Ostapchuk, good player, extreme, like that dude that we traded to the Boston Bruins, who I can't even remember the name of anymore. The giant guy.
Mark Kastelik?
Mark Kastelik, like, these are replaceable players, like, and maybe one day Fabian Zetterlund will also be replaced, but like, I'm not losing any sleep over that. Like, that sort of like hand wringing over that trade, I think, is stupid.
Especially considering how good the Sens like depth was. Mm-hmm. I think it's weird to get all worried about how the depth players are performing and their contracts and stuff. It's like, the Sens were good, so
yeah, no, and like never before have we been. It shows you, like, to what you're saying, like, it shows you the riches that we have these days. Whereas, like, we're bemoaning the performance of a 17 goal scorer. Like, this guy's approaching 20 goals as a, like, middle 6, sometimes bottom line player, where if we had got him like 5 years ago, we would be pinning all our hopes and dreams to him. Like, the fact that he's an afterthought really shows you, like, this team's a lot better than it used to be.
And I'll say this for Fabian Zetterlund, his shooting talent / percentages have actually been pretty good. Like, he might just have to shoot more. Like, if he wants to get back to almost 25 goals or whatever, I think he might be able to do that if he just takes 100 shots or 100 more shots a season. Like that might be all it takes for Fabian Zetterlund. Just ripping
And
it.
if he inspires Tim Stützle to take more shots, then, symbiosis.
Yeah, actually, okay, now when we're talking about players that people complain about, I want to say people need to be nicer to Thomas Chabot. This
Mhm.
guy is good. He has not been a defensive liability in years. He is
Mhm.
a fantastic possession player. The team sucks every time he gets injured. Shut up about Thomas Chabot not being as good as James Sanderson. I don't care. The Sens need him. We need to keep him.
100%
Absolutely.
agree.
I know this is the right crowd for it, but some of the listeners might need to hear this.
The people who were like, "Oh, we have Sanderson now. That means we can get rid of Chabot." Like that never made sense to me. I was like,
It's so stupid.
"What if we kept them both?" In fact, Thomas
Yeah.
Chabot even better in a more limited role now that he doesn't have to carry the team like Atlas.
He's literally been so good since Sanderson showed up in the NHL.
Yeah.
And people just like look at him and go, "Oh, well, Sanderson's better, so I guess we don't need Chabot anymore." It's so stupid.
Yeah, I agree. It's like, what if we had two good goalies? Like, oh, Ullmark needs like a competent backup. It's like, oh, why is that bad? Yeah, like let's have an extremely strong left side on defense. And not have can Sanderson do everything? Yes, but like, I think that, yeah, to what you're saying, like Chabot is like doing what he was put on earth to do now, which is probably be more of a second pairing, very good defenseman, not the only good defenseman on the team for years, which sullied his reputation, I think, among fans.
As you know, we have a defenseman who could potentially be a first pairing defenseman playing on our second pairing.
Mhm.
How sad. What are we going to do about this?
We'll just have to deal with it.
It's such poverty Melnick mindset to get one extra good defenseman and being like, good, now we can trade the other one. Like we almost made the cup finals with just Erik Karlsson, so that means we have to do it that way every time.
That's kind of my point, to go back to the Fabian Zetterlund thing. Like, it ain't tricking if you got it. It's like $4 million for this kind of like utility player. Ain't my money. Like, that's not crushing us against the cap. That's Melnick poverty mindset still like prevalent in the fan base. And to go back to my other point, don't listen to us. We're stupid. We're fans. We don't know what we're talking about. Thanks for listening.
No, listen to us on this one thing. Thomas Chabot is good.
Yeah. Well, open up your heart, folks. He is good, and he's funny too. For a guy that could hardly speak English when he was drafted, the guy is hilarious in any of the like off-ice video stuff that he does. He's a rascal.
Yeah. People just hate him so much for no reason. It's so stupid.
Yeah, he would be consider how much you weirdos miss Dylan DeMello to this day. Like, you think you wouldn't miss Thomas Chabot if he disappeared back to his home planet of, like, I don't know, some French saint that I can't remember the name of, Ville, Quebec. Like, where I don't know where he's from, but
He's from Beauce, which is the same place that Marie-Philippe Ponet is from. That's how I remember it.
okay. So, Hockey Factory, we love you. We were rude to you for a few years. We're putting our full support behind you. Good luck with your experimental adamantium bone coating surgery that you're having this year. God, the guy has like years of wrist injuries and then is rewarded with breaking his arm right before the playoffs.
So, as the philosopher Biggie Smalls once said, I squeeze gats till my clips is empty, and my clips are empty. How are your clips looking?
Ugh, no one needs to hear more from me on this, any of this stuff.
I have one more clip, but it might be too much. I don't
Please
know. It might be too
close
off
down
I
the
don't
take
think
purge with
so.
one
I don't
last
think so.
with one last take.
One last take.
Yeah.
This one I kind of said on my own podcast, Elite Suns Brain, but I'm gonna go even further there. And it's not Suns related, but it needs to be said. Heated Rivalry is one of the worst books I've ever read in my life. And the thing is, whenever you say this online, people will go, "Oh, but the sequels are so much better. Read Role Model, read The Long Game," and those books are even worse. In fact, I think people are not ready for how bad the discourse is going to be about Heated Rivalry Season 2 because those books are really bad and do not have anything interesting to say about hockey culture and are going to make the discourse about hockey culture worse because of how badly they handle those issues. And I know you guys haven't read these books, so you can't contradict this, but this is objectively true.
I did see the television program, and I think that it suffered from the same thing that happens to everything now, where I try to see things really fast if they're hyped up. My go-to example of this was the movie Inception. I remember like, yeah, there's this new weird movie, and I was like, okay, I'll see it. And then I saw it right away, and I was like, yeah, that was fun. Okay. And then a few months later, it was like, this movie is important, or like this movie is the worst movie ever made, or like Barbie was kind of like that. Like they were like ascribing too much to this friggin' movie. I think Heated Rivalry kind of like got too much discourse, where it was like, yeah, it's just like a bunch of kids in costumes. Like it was fun. I think it was really cool that one of the main characters was from our nation's capital, and I think season 2 seems to be pointing to it taking place there. I don't know, no spoilers.
Yes, and that's the one good thing about the show and the books.
I think that's fun. When they go to the Ottawa airport in the show, they are clearly not there, which was hilarious to me. Where I'm like, I don't think like you could have shot that on location. I think for pretty cheap. I'll make 2 phone calls and help you guys out for season 2. But yeah, it's just fun. If the next season is like terrible, like I am not going to be shocked in any kind of way. I don't think those actors are going to go move on to do very much after, and we'll enjoy their like quick show that everyone talked about for 5 seconds. But
well, specifically, I'm warning people that the later books have such an offensive way of talking about hockey culture and have such bad takes on hockey culture that like if the show isn't all accurate to how things go in the books, like strap in, guys.
No disrespect. I can't read. I haven't read Proust yet. Like I can't read those books. Like come on. I watched the show in like one sitting and was like, yeah, it was fine. There was lots of fucking and sucking in the first 5 minutes. It was crazy. Like I've never seen anything like this before.
Beata, where can the good listeners find you?
Well, first of all, if you enjoyed listening to my voice and you didn't find me annoying, you can listen to my podcast, which is Elite Sens Brain, and you can also find Elite Sens Brain at that handle on Twitter or Blue Sky. I am also on Twitter and Blue Sky. My username it's C and then Beata, Beata, and then E. And I also write for silver7sens.com, so you can read my writing there.
Wow. That rules.
Mm-hmm.
Elite Sens Brain, the only other Good Sens podcast.
I'm so honored.
And shout out to your bravery of being on twitter.x, the everything website, where you can see the worst things that human beings and robots have to offer. So thank you for fighting the good fight on that front. Is there anyone any of you would like to thank or shout out before we close the bar?
I'd like to thank Beata for joining us and gracing us with some purge-worthy takes and also some good takes. And I'm not going to tell you which ones.
We're not going to hold those against you. I would also like to thank you, Beata, and above all, I would like to thank my goddamn self for being here today. I had a lot of other stuff going on, probably. Just kidding.
Folks, I'm closing down the bar. Thank you, James. Thank you, Beata. Thank you, Verada, for leaving a voice message. Well, I think we're planning to get Verada on the next episode, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, we'll let you know when the Senagoth Lounge is open again. And otherwise, see you soon and take it easy.